Final Fantasy XVI. It's probably the only title that fans want just as much, if not more, as Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. In fact, I actually find myself more so looking forward to Final Fantasy XVI, as it's been so long since we've seen a brand new original Final Fantasy world. Well, outside of Final Fantasy XIV and its expansions. Now, there have been several rumors from various sources throughout the months that Final Fantasy XVI was supposed to be announced this year for PlayStation 5. And some so-called reliable sources have claimed that it's still supposed to be announced sometime soon. However, it appears that the announcement might have been delayed. That being said, with today's bit of information, we might just be inching closer to the inevitable announcement of Final Fantasy XVI. It seems that Square might have registered official Twitter accounts for Final Fantasy XVI, with both an English Twitter as well as a Japanese one. Currently, these Twitter pages are mostly blank and don't have much information on them, though the naming scheme of the account does follow the naming schemes of other Final Fantasy Twitter accounts. And if that were the only bit of information, then I wouldn't even be making this video, as anyone could register that. However, it seems that the recovery email might trace back to Square Enix. While the exact email address, of course, is censored, with an S followed by several asterisk marks, those asterisk marks give the exact number of characters as squareenix.com. And with us knowing that the first character is an S, do you see where I'm going with this? So, if this is all true and Final Fantasy XVI is indeed coming, when exactly would we be able to expect it? Oh, originally, Square Enix said that they were going to be announcing several titles throughout July and August. This was supposed to be due to a lack of trade shows in the wake of the current pandemic. However, considering as of today, this video is being recorded on August 31st, meaning that was, as some would say, fake news. So who really knows what happened there? However, there is still one other hope, and that hope comes in the form of the Tokyo Game Show, a place in which historically Square Enix has shown off a bunch of stuff. And if they're going to reveal something this big at any type of trade show or convention, I think the Tokyo Game Show is definitely the most likely one. And it's quite possible that all those announcements we were supposed to get in July and August have instead been pushed back to September with TGS. Hopefully that is the case. And that's not all for JRPG news today. As you guys know, I was an absolutely massive fan of Persona 5, and I'm currently playing Persona 4 Golden over on my Twitch channel, link in the description below, and I'm loving every single second of it. And because of that, I'm absolutely hungry for more Persona. So when it was revealed that Persona 5 Scramble was actually going to be a sequel to Persona 5, with even Atlus themselves teasingly calling it Persona 5 2, I was ecstatic to get my hands on it. However, details for the Western release of the game have been kind of murky to say the least. Sure, it's popped up in Koei Tecmo's financial reports, and is supposed to release this fiscal year, but we haven't gotten a trailer for it or any real official confirmation. However, it was recently discovered by Twitter user @JohnnyLoxon that Persona 5 Scramble got a brand new Western trademark. And that's not all, it also looks like the game got a name change for the Western release, no longer being called Persona 5 Scramble, but instead now being called Persona 5 Strikers, which honestly, I'm not really big on either name. I think both Strikers and Scramble aren't really the coolest names, especially when compared to a much more cool name like Persona 5 Royal. Honestly, I think they should have bit the bullet and just called the game Persona 5 2, but with the gameplay being so different, it might have upset some people. That being said, you can look forward to everything that will come out on Final Fantasy XVI and any future Persona news here on this channel. And with that said, Ultima, I want to hear from you. Excited for Final Fantasy XVI? And are you excited for Persona 5 Strikers, as they'll be called here in the West? Subscribe, click the bell icon, and let me know in the comments below. And if you love this channel and want to support it, you can both A, check out my Twitch channel where I stream every weekday at 6 p.m. Central Time, or B, check out the Patreon for the Night Sky Prince, where I'm supported by incredible people like Mary Weagle. I hope I said your last name correctly. The support of people like you, especially during these crazy times, are what allow me to keep making all these videos. So if that means a lot to you, be sure to check the link in the description below. Shout out to Mary and the rest of the Ultima community.